As many of you know, I use talking books for the blind for reading many of the books that I do, whether it's fiction or whether it's factual. Well, the other day, I started reading a book that I had downloaded, maybe a week or two before, and I was finishing up the book that I was reading, and I switched over to reading this. And of course, quite often they give a little bit of a history of the author of the book. Okay. I'm going to open this up so I can do it properly. Okay. Because I don't want to accidentally say his name wrong. The book was written by Gardner Harris, and it's called No More Tears, The Dark Secrets of Johnson & Johnson. You know, the people that made the baby powder and the baby oil, those people. And Gardner Harris was the one that wrote the book. But let me tell you exactly my response when I heard his accreditations. This deserves a good talk about. Hello, anyone. I'm Scott Boehm. They called me the old farmer. As I was saying in the intro part that I was startled, and then I questioned the validity of this individual's ability to write a legitimate book. Gardner Harris, The Dark Secrets of Johnson & Johnson. I'm doing it from memory now. No More Tears, The Dark Secrets of Johnson & Johnson. He had originally was affiliated with the Wall Street Journal. Okay, that's quite impressive. What startled me was his next accreditation, the New York Times. In my mind, instantly, the thought is, can I trust what he is reporting? Why? Because New York Times is not known for accuracy in its news stories. And when we look at the broader picture of what's going on in the news business, there is one thing when a network is willing to denigrate itself, such as ABC, and it looks like they're in trouble again and will probably get sued again by Mr. Trump. And more so, justifiably in my eyes, than what the previous suit was, where Disney, the owner of ABC, settled. And a lot of money went into different projects that Mr. Trump wanted. He didn't put it in his pocket, and it was as an individual, not as the president. Serious things. When you can't trust someone giving you the news, especially at the network level, that rubs off at the local level too. If ABC, NBC, CBS will, in essence, in many instances, let's Some people would say distort the truth. Others would say lying through their teeth. I'll leave it up to you to decide which way it goes. But with the Texas flood, the tragedy, the loss of life, the loss of children, the breaking of families, unbelievable grief, and dollar damage. And ABC News tried to blame Mr. Trump because they are saying that the weather department did not have enough people manning the stations, as it were, to deal with getting the notices out and such like that. I've had dealings with these people before, the weather people, the real people who know weather, those people, and they are dedicated people. If they think an emergency could happen, they will bring in the troops to handle it. And they did. But ABC decided to question whether Mr. Trump's Doge activities harmed the Weather Bureau to the point where it caused these tragedies. Okay. Now, I don't know what New York Times has said on it, so I'm only going to do conjecture that they're going to do similar. Mr. Trump is at fault that we lost so many lives. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but let's assume they are. Now, Gardner Harris is writing this book. And as I rationally thought it through, not emotionally, but rationally, that at least he is going to try to be accurate. I assume he's going to make mistakes. That's part of the process of writing these books. But I don't think they're intentional mistakes. But he works for the New York Times. You see how the reputation of one company showers down onto someone who's trying to turn out a good product. Can I trust it? It's a good book, well worth reading. I understood some stuff about the difference between talcum powder and soapstone, and that the two have asbestos in it. And it's almost impossible to get the asbestos out of the baby powder. That's why everybody switched away from it. I just thought it was because the particulate was too fine. But that wasn't the main reason. It was because there was too much pressure of having asbestos in the talc and they couldn't get it out. It isn't that they didn't try, they couldn't. And they didn't notify people that there may be a trace of asbestos. And their claim was the amount that was in it was harmless. Okay. They could have put that kind of label on the box for the baby powder, but that would kind of kill sales, don't you think? Especially with babies. So ABC is in a pickle again, and at this point there is no comments from President Trump on this. He has just finished up the lawsuit with CBS, And the first part was 16 million. That would go to library and different causes. But there's confusion between an additional $16 million to $30 million in time that's given to him. Think of advertising time. That's how they'll budget it. For Mr. Trump to use for whatever he wants. That's a large financial burden on Skydance, who's going to buy Paramount. You know, Paramount Pictures. Paramount Pictures owns CBS. And of course, it was the news department that got him in trouble doing edits. Ms. Harris, her interview with CBS. It used to be with me, with network, that, okay, a hurricane comes in, I can trust the news. They're just reporting on weather conditions and what it's doing. Or a flood. How bad is a flood? You know, the political stuff I couldn't I haven't trusted the networks probably for 30 years. Well before Walter Cronkite retired from CBS News. And he set up some standards. Now, I knew Walter Cronkite was so far left, he made Jane Fonda look like she was part of the Tea Party. But with news, he tried to keep it balanced, tried to keep his opinion out of it. But there's many other ways that you can tweak on how the news is presented. It could be the order of the piece of news. It could be by inferring something, but not delving into it. For example, there's rumors that this person did this, this, and this. At this time, we do not know. Now, that is an arrow slung at someone. And I could see it going on. Whether a piece got into the news and where it was in the news program made all the difference in the world. There was so many ways back then to put an agenda on political beefs or agendas on political stories, slant it one way or the other. So I get this book about Johnson & Johnson. The writer works for New York Times. It's an independent project, not that he was doing it for New York Times. It was his own independent project. But he worked for the New York Times. Why wouldn't I question his validity, his impartiality? And that is one of the most dangerous parts of what's happening with the news at the national level, the legacy news. The bad reputation is flowing out to individuals that really don't deal with politics. That's not their area. And they may agree with us or they may disagree with us. That's not important. The important thing is, can they deliver the information they're providing without coloring it in the way that they want it to be colored? We all remember different people in Congress because they did something really bad. They got booted out either at the next election or they got actually booted out by Congress itself. You can think back on people. The big one for my era was Richard Nixon. and Watergate. I won't go into details, but not a decent man. I never did trust him. Well, that's what's happening to these people. They have a small group of individuals who think they're the cat's pajamas. And the rest of us think they are skunks. And they'll never get a job again unless they stand up and say that they did wrong, they knew they did wrong, and I'll take the punishment that I deserve, and then after that, give me a chance to go on doing the news. And in that case, maybe I would give him the one mistake. Now, on this channel, you can trust what I say. Now, I may make a mistake. I may see it wrong, or you may honestly disagree. You know, it's like painting a room. What color should we paint the room? There's no right color or wrong color. It's just opinions. You may have opinion one way, I may have opinion the other way, we may agree. You know, that's one thing. But when you can't trust what the person says, and the only wise thing you can do is turn them off, then that harms the whole system, the whole news organization. Our trusting anything that the town crier has to say. I'd like to see what you have to say on it. It's really important to me. What do you think?
Thank you for watching, and please be safe.
We'd sure appreciate it if you could subscribe and leave a comment. You know how YouTube behaves. They won't believe you watched a video unless you leave a comment. Also, it would help if you ring the bell and do a thumbs up. As you know, if I find a good channel, I pass it on to you. So if you think it's appropriate, it would sure help if you passed us on to your closest 10,000 friends and family. But above all, give a helping hand to someone today. It's the best gift to give. It'll make you feel good too.
Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, or ring the bell buttons on the Original Old Farmer channel. We enjoy reading the comments that you leave, and they do help the channel, so keep them coming. And once again, thank you for watching The Original Old Farmer.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.